first you're actually going to be getting into is the big three is alive. Luista is talking about Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole. All I've been hearing about is the Drake versus Kendrick beef, and that happened fucking a year ago. Honestly, it's the 1 year anniversary. So let's go see what it's gonna be about. I'm actually hyped to figure out what Luista got to say.
Than it ever was before. Where people used to talk about Mount Rushmores of certain eras, the obsession has now shifted, not just to who's in this elite club, but who exactly the one true GOAT of the class really is. Of course, we're talking about Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole. These three MCs had the perfect balance of commercial success and critical respect, earning them the title of the kings in modern day hip-hop. But after the fallout from 2024's great rap civil war between Drake and Kendrick, everything's changed. And now, fans are starting to question if those crown holders still deserve their spot.
You know what's crazy? Is that how we're feeling right now, how everybody's just arguing back and forth about who's the king of hip-hop and who's better. People are botting and talking about fake streams, shit like that. I bet you when it was the East Coast versus West Coast beef in the 90s, I feel like this is exactly what it was like. But it's different because we have all this technology. Like I said, we got the botting shit. We got people who be leaking shit on social media. Like, it's the age of social media, so I feel like it's a whole lot more different, and people get exposed for shit that you really can't get exposed for in the 90s because you couldn't give them no proof. And the people who try to give them proof either took off the map or just seen as fucking crazy. So it's funny is that here history is repeating itself, but it's repeating itself in a different way just because of how technology has progressed and everything.
The whole idea feels outdated or just flat out flawed, especially when there are other artists making just as much noise, if not more, than the ones we're always told are at.
Nigga, why'd you blur out those two motherfucking rappers, bro? We already know that was fucking Tyler, the Creator, and we know that was Playboy Cardi. Stop it.
It's your boy Luesta, and this is why the Big Three is a lie. Because what started as a legendary trio might have ended in a reshuffling of the entire rap game. And today we're breaking down who fumbled, who stayed solid, and who might just be next up. For a long time, it was pretty much accepted.
A lot of people are adding Future to the kings of hip hop, which he should be.
Biggest artists in hip hop today. While each carved out his own lane, they were the kind of artists who could bring the entire game to a halt whenever they dropped, forcing everyone to pay attention and analyze what had just.
Y'all see how long my dreads are?
For years, this went basically unchallenged by a majority of the hip hop community. This persisted for years, with the three of them basically being seen in the unobtainable and unequaled space that today's artists could only aspire to come close to. For the most part, the Big Three label was an unspoken truth, never directly acknowledged by the rappers themselves, but likely always lingering in the back of their minds. That is, until Drake and Cole finally put it on wax with First Person Shooter, rapping about who the real GOAT was and boldly declaring,
"Love when they argued our hardest MC. Is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey or me? We the Big Three like we started a league, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali."
It was the first time that the trio was officially stamped in a song out in the open for the world to debate. And when it comes to Cole, it wasn't his first time addressing his place in the rap hierarchy, as he did something similar on Heaven's EP, where he acknowledged the rankings some fans had in mind. But when Jermaine called himself the Muhammad Ali of the trio, the self-proclaimed King Kendrick wasn't about to let that slide. In classic K-Dot fashion, he fired back with a now iconic line.
I ain't gonna cap. I can only imagine how Kendrick was looking when he heard J. Cole's like, "I'm feeling like I'm Muhammad Ali." I swear, he woke something in Kendrick. Nigga, he's just listening to it. Who's the hardest MC? Is it K-Dot? Is that Aubrey or me? We need the Big Three like we started the league, but right now I'm feeling Muhammad Ali. He's like, Muhammad Ali? Disney? Oh, hell nah, nigga. Fuck out of here. Nah, I'm about to kill you where you stand now, nigga. We about to duel, and I'm about to show you that who's that nigga that beat Muhammad Ali? I don't know the name. You know I don't know the sports. But I'm gonna show you. If you Muhammad Ali, nigga, I'm the nigga that knocked Muhammad Ali out and gave him his first KO, nigga. Fuck you talking about?
Where he said,
Motherfuck the big three. Nigga, it's just big me.
and from that moment
Nigga,
on,
ball.
everything changed. From push-ups to Euphoria and Family Matters to Not Like Us, K-Dot and Drake.
You forgot one. Don't forget Meet the Grams. Don't forget Meet the Grams, nigga. But I ain't gonna lie, out of all the diss tracks, my favorite one by Kendrick is Euphoria. Favorite one by Drake is Family Matters. Euphoria got like 3 beat switches, which I'm fucking with. He just goes hard as fuck. A whole 7-minute song. And then Drake, Family Matters, also has 3 beat switches. And he's going at like fucking 10 different niggas like he's fucking Thanos and killing all of them. And he sings on it too, like, bruh, come on now.
Drake duked it
Fuck
out for
with it. I fuck
supremacy.
with it.
And no matter who you think came out on top, one thing's clear. Right now, it's only Kendrick and Drake who seem to be actively battling for the crown. Meanwhile, the moves, or lack thereof, by the third member of the trio have people wondering if he quietly gave up his spot a long time ago. Growing number of fans online see.
Yeah, this is gonna be the only video.
Have been flooding sites
This
like
is gonna
Reddit
be
whenever the big three
the
debate
only
comes up.
video
Although his rhymes
I'm
often
reacting to
allude to
tonight.
his unparalleled pen game, Cole's words out of the booth have suggested that he's tried to take himself out of the contention for any GOAT talk repeatedly. Instead, he insists he wants to keep things friendly.
Like, nobody can really relate to that like these dudes. And I really genuinely fuck with these dudes. So like I've been
I forgot I gotta take out my trash too.
like as time goes on and like strip the competition from it. Like y'all niggas are cemented forever. You know what I mean? Like I would hope that I'm cemented forever. And if not, I will be, you know, when it's all said and done. And
I can definitely say that J. Cole is submitted forever. No matter if he was J4 and he bowed out gracefully, which is, hey, here's one of my things. I don't care that he bowed out because he knew what was going on. Because Schoolboy Q told him like, hey, this is like some real beef and shit. Like it's gonna get crazy. My thing is J. Cole don't really do anything. Like the only thing I've heard, and it was from a while ago, was that J. Cole punched Diddy, and that was the biggest thing. And I just now heard about that shit. Not just now, but I just recently heard about that shit. Like actually when I started streaming, that's when I heard about it. When we get into this, and he punched him over him disrespecting Kendrick. I think and I feel like J. Cole could have stayed in that battle because Kendrick wouldn't have had anything to say bad about J. Cole unless they made up. Unless he like lied and shit like that, like he lied on Drake. Like, and I guess they both were lying on each other. It don't matter. It's not about the truth anymore. It's about what you can make the people to believe. Because we still haven't seen that daughter that Drake supposedly has. He's not a pedophile. Freaky ass nigga? I don't know. I have no idea. Haven't heard any freaky ass nigga allegations. So I ain't gonna lie. I know there is like a universe or a multiverse where there is a big 3 battle. First, wait, Cole didn't back out. There's a universe where Cole didn't back out from the fucking battle. And I'm kind of salty. I'm very salty that it wasn't this universe, bro. I swear to God. So, don't get me wrong. I love Euphoria. I love Family Matters and shit like that, bro. But it's like, and also my thing is too, say Cole would have stayed in the battle. I don't think J. Cole would have took shots at Drake because he got on a Drake song. Like they both would have been going up against Kendrick. So that makes the battle even more goated that we experienced. It was a 1v1. Really is a 1v10 because everybody's going up against Drake. Once fucking Kendrick dissed Drake back, Then everybody started hopping on the bandwagon. Future, Rick Ross, Metro Boomin, like hella motherfuckers, like Weekend, like all of EXO, and so even though J. Cole, I wish I would have saw J. Cole be in this battle. I think the battle that we got at least I got the experience. That was amazing. I know I got fucking euphoria from that shit. No pun intended. It was lit. Just sitting there in real time watching Drake put his shit on Twitter, Kendrick put his shit on Instagram or Twitter and drop his shit, and then just instantly go, nigga. Oh my god, that shit was amazing.
Time and mentality.
So
like,
good.
Like the competition part, I've stripped away, and I'm now on some shit like, man, I'm more interested in the relationship because I also see a time when I'm not doing it.
Since then, he has continued to suggest that Drake was better than him.
Greenfield Festival. If y'all don't make some noise for the motherfucking coach.
Nigga, even
While
Kanye West says it too. Kanye West is one of my favorite people. Kanye West says that Drake has flows that I can't even do. I be stealing some of his shit. Kanye just said that. Like, I wish, I ain't gonna lie, I love Kanye. I wish that him and Drake could just, he could like get over his jealousy so they could do some shit. Cause I know whatever they would do be lit. But it's that jealousy, man. That jealousy, that ego. I'm like, oh my god. And I don't think Drake would want to be around fucking Kanye while he's doing this fucking Hitler shit and talking about the Jews and wearing a swastika.
To
and
be
shit.
so for real, last year
To be so for real,
was kind of a lot for
fucking
me.
ass
I
out of
was
here.
just feeling kind of like burned out.
That J. Cole is at top on the pole position. So don't I love you with all my heart. You're my brother, one of my favorite artists, and I always appreciate.
From then on, this kind of love fest was basically commonplace, cementing the idea that J. Cole was one person on the mic and another entirely away from it. He even praised Drake after First Person Shooter for not trying to smoke him on the track.
In that moment, he chose the song over the competition and what they gonna say, boom, boom, boom. And that takes like a level of egolessness. You put your ego to the side. Like, yo, I wanna make the best song. For what we have available right now, I wanna make the best song. You know what I mean? I will say that the tree and the cloud.
I can definitely say First Person Shooter is a fucking hard ass song, and I love that song. I love that song. Such a good song.
That I'm cut from, and that he's cut from, and that Kendrick is cut from, you expect that. You know what I mean? Like you coming up with maybe the music that you was making at 16 and like maybe just stepping into these other events. Yeah. I understand that you approaching it from a different mindset where it's like, yo, you're not really a part of like the culture of this event. Y'all don't come from that, and that's cool. I love that. I love that y'all don't. I love what y'all, but we do. Drake ain't looking at it like I'm gonna take Cole fucking head off at some point. Nah, he come from that cloth. Yeah. So at some point in time, he gonna want his lick back. Like, oh, that's what y'all think? All right, bet.
But all that humility came back to bite him after the Like That era kicked off. Cole dropped 7 Minute Drill, a Kendrick diss that, honestly, didn't move the needle for most listeners. Then, instead of
and you know what's crazy too? Because when that shit came out, 7 Minute Drill, I was just talking to my girl. And she was asking me about what I was reacting to and shit like that, and just who I listened to. And I told her, like, pretty much, like, J. Cole, I don't really listen to him like that. Like, he has some songs that I fuck with, and that was the case even last year when he dropped 7 Minute Drill. I didn't listen to that because I'm not really a J. Cole fan. I really didn't want to hear him diss. But now, since he took it off of all DSPs and shit like that, bro, nigga, I'm salty as fuck that I didn't listen to it. I'm sure that it's on YouTube somewhere, or it's on SoundCloud or some shit, and I could find it and I could listen to it. But how would I even know if that's the actual record? I wouldn't know. But I'm kind of salty that I didn't listen to it when he dropped it. Cause I mean, here's the thing. I thought I would have been able to listen to it forever. I really did. I didn't expect him to take it off of DSPs. I didn't expect him to take it away from Apple Music and fucking Spotify. So, but hey, look, it's out in this cloud somewhere.
Standing on it, he backtracked, saying the track didn't sit right with his spirit and eventually deleted it off streaming platforms entirely. That one move set the internet on fire, disappointing fans and giving critics all the ammo they needed.
J. Cole committed career suicide.
I really hope,
fuck
honestly,
what he's saying on the fall off. And I'm a J. Cole fan.
I really hope that he plays DJ Academics' rant, because DJ Academics' rant is fucking funny as hell. I mean, y'all know how I feel about DJ Academics. I love Academics. His rants are hilarious.
Which you did last
When I'm at work,
nigga,
Tom be flying by because I be listening to DJ Academics rants when he's not doing the streaming. I be tapped into his streams. When he's not streaming or when he gets off the stream, I listen to his rants. He be going on hook
every nigga that's ever supported your career down
hilarious.
last night. That's a fact.
Some even went as far to say that the way he handled it basically disqualified him.
Specifically to Cole, then don't rap about being the one. I'm not disqualifying him from being a great rapper and a great artist and somebody who's beloved and somebody
but you're saying, but you are simultaneously saying he is down a peg.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Bro, you can't say you're number one, and when somebody says, "Oh, I don't think you are," that's.
I'm gonna try not to pause this as much because I got a deadline. I got a not deadline, but I got a timeline. I gotta be out of here.
Matter of fact, the most recent time saying that there's a big three.
I gotta end the stream by at least 11:30. I give it 11:30, 11:45.
Right. So you said that someone called your bluff, and you didn't wanna. My real critique of J. Cole before his apology was going to be, I thought he overplayed his hand in 7-minute drill.
In the aftermath, a lot of Cole fans were left wishing he handled things differently. Because now, for the first time since the mid-2010s, his status as a Big Three member is really being questioned. If Cole stayed in this beef, the conversation would be very different. Although, J. Cole tried to explain his outlook on Port Antonio, where he claimed he didn't rap because he was in fear of losing his friends.
They see this fire in my pen and think I'm dodging smoke. I wouldn't have lost the battle, dog. I would have lost the bro.
But in a genre where competition is everything, an explanation like that just didn't cut it. To many, hip-hop is a sport, and when you step off the court mid-game, your stock drops. And now, Cole has been getting disrespected in ways that no Big Three member ever should. That said, there's still a chance to turn things around. His long-anticipated album The Fall Off is still on the way, and with all the hype surrounding it, it could be his shot at redemption. But it's clear that he's still as much of a relevant figure as ever. Even though his enemies and doubters,
I can say that I'm waiting for the follow-up. I do want to listen to that.
This is why he's catching smoke from Kanye without even being visible in the public eye at the moment.
Changing gears here, Kanye West. Y'all know Kanye get on X and do his thing. So a fan was tweeting about J. Cole and posted J. Cole's verse that he did on Johnny P's Caddy with Benny the Butcher. And he was basically saying that J. Cole spared Kendrick by not getting into the whole battle.
Oh, God.
So insert Kanye West, or yeah.
All right. All right, hold on. J Fold. You can't say you spared Kendrick, even though that song wasn't said right with your fucking spirits, nigga. Come on now. You can't be copping pleas like that. You can't do that. You can't say you spared Kendrick by backing out of the battle. Fuck no. Because you have nothing to back it up. Besides you dropping out of the battle. Stop. Please, you can't say that, bro. You cannot say that.
He responded and said, I hate J. Cole music so much. It's like between Kendrick and J. Cole, I bet you industry plans asked J. Cole to diss Drake. Then we would have been accosted with a J. Cole Super Bowl commercial with no SZA song to save it. No one listens to J. Cole after losing their virginity.
Oh my God.
When I met up with Drake,
bro, Kanye is so fucking funny, bro.
Telling him he was hurting hip-hop by giving J. Cole platform, and I was saying how much I loved Future.
Now, it's funny that the enraged Ye mentions the Toxic King himself. Because in the wake of Cole essentially forfeiting his position in the eyes of many fans,
oh yeah, he did a song.
Vacant spot. And to some of the hip hop audience,
yeah, bro, everybody was talking about Future being on the top.
Know that Future is number 2 behind Drake.
Bro, everybody was talking about how Future was either gonna take J. Cole's spot because he opted out of the battle, or he's just one of the top 4. But he should have already been on. He should have already been in that big league because he was damn near with Drake. With the amount that he drops and the lyricism and everything, bro. I still listen to Codeine Crazy, bro. I still listen to fucking Beast Mode 2. Bro, all that. No misses, bro. Still don't trust you. We still don't trust you, nigga. I don't like you. What was the song? Oh. What was it? I Hate You? Or something like that? I Never Liked You. That's what it was. I Never Liked You. That album, bro. Fucking Future, nigga. 48 was it? 48 nights. Yeah, 48 nights, nigga.
Drake for the past 15
Hendrix,
years,
nigga.
but he doesn't have
Come
the
on
same
now.
commercial appeal
Dirty
as Cole
Sprite.
Kendrick. When you go outside, especially if you live in the South, you always hear Future in clubs, lounges, people's cars, etc. Future's catalog can go against anyone. This is from a user who was discussing why he thought Future should be in the big three conversation. But while there is a notion that he should be occupying the position,
Future got Drake in the clubs.
Rankings,
Kendrick even said
others,
that.
such as 21 Savage, who insist that when it comes to appealing to the streets, he is unequaled.
Niggas don't be listening to Drake like that. Well, if I wasn't a rapper, I don't feel like I still would listen to Drake for real. It's just I'm a rapper, so I understand the work he put in now, how hard he go. Like when you ain't no rapper, all them statistics don't mean shit. A regular street nigga don't give a fuck about how many times you went number one, like how many white people.
Oh God! Do you know about how many goddamn golds and platinums this nigga has? Nigga, Future said, "I just fucked your bitch with some Gucci flip flops." You talking about some fucking platinum and gold, nigga? Shut the fuck up, talking, nigga. This nigga Future said, "Fucked her in her ass, made her PP." Nigga, you talking about goddamn Grammys that nigga got, nigga? He ain't no rapper, nigga. This nigga Future said, "I don't give a fuck if they twin sisters, if they real sisters. If a bitch ever catch me cheating, I will never tell her sorry, nigga." And you telling me that this nigga got, what, a Pulitzer? Future, nigga. Future. That's how niggas know. I don't even know what a Pulitzer is, nigga. Fuck is that? But I know what Future got. So Gucci flip-flops, he fucked the bitches. He got the bitches.
The farthest they think is the club. Who's selling this club out? That's who they think is the biggest niggas. Like in Atlanta, it's a lot of niggas who you really can't tell them Future ain't bigger than Drake. Really? Oh God, nigga. I used to think that. Drake ain't really no big mixtape artist like that. How you got all your Drake albums, you probably really went in the store and bought them motherfuckers. Every Future album I ever heard was a bootleg. Niggas was bootlegging it or going to live
Bootleg.
mixtape. So when nothing was the same or whatever.
Them bootlegs be going crazy, bro. Cause that's like what you get when you over in the fucking OG barbershop. When you got the bootleg of the like bootleg of new movies and shit like that. Bootleg of mixtapes and shit. Like, yeah. Shit, that's how 50 Cent got big.
Sure, there are some who have critiqued his lack of shift in subject matter, or felt that his refusal to evolve beyond his own sound limits him. But much like J. Cole, Future knows what he excels at and sticks with it. However, the idea that he should occupy a space in the big three isn't even a new idea. In fact, people like Charlemagne and DJ Vlad have been debating this position for years.
J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake. They are the bar. Remember when Jay-Z said he used to argue all day about who's the best MCs, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas? It's Cole, Kendrick, Drake. Those are the three.
I think that Future is hotter than Kendrick right now. And I would probably also say that Future is hotter than J. Cole right now. Yeah, actually, I would say that. I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
That's not true. I mean, but no, you know what? Hot maybe. Because hot is relative. Hot means for the moment.
For the moment. Right now, people are checking for Future more than they are checking for Kendrick.
Yeah, but guess what? J. Cole and Kendrick have amazing catalog.
Kendrick
I ain't gonna cap.
And Section 80 mixtape.
People, I ain't gonna lie. People have been sleeping on fucking Future, bro. I'm not even going cap. People have been sleeping on Future, man. I was one of them. I was one of them to sleep on fucking Future. Nigga, I'm just not getting into his shit. I'm like, damn, I was really sleeping on this nigga, bro. That's the type of mixtape shit. But I'm not from Atlanta, so that's like, I'm sure if I lived in Atlanta and if all I heard was Future, then I wouldn't have been sleeping. I'm from fucking Cincinnati, Ohio, so I listen to Future. Well, I used to listen to Future when he was on it with other people, or if I heard him on the fucking radio.
I'm saying Kendrick's going on tour next month. J. Cole's been on tour.
Or just see him on fucking social media. I knew him more just from his memes and shit like that. Now he don't have memes, but the memes that people make about him and shit.
In this interview from 2015, Charlemagne seemed to think that there were limitations to his appeal that stopped him from really obtaining that spot. However, he acknowledged his impact on the culture and that rappers were beginning to take cues from the ATL rapper.
Future is getting into legendary status because of everything he represents, everything he stands for, like certain lingo, like motherfuckers is sending out pictures of Gucci flip-flops just to let niggas know I'm fucking your girl. Like, don't get me wrong, Future's getting into legendary status. And all of these guys are getting into legendary status, but I see overall impact broader from Kendrick, Cole, and Drake. Because Future is still for the hood. Future is still for the street. Future's for the trap.
Now, 10 years down the line, Future's influence isn't a matter of discussion, but a simple fact.
I think the most influential artist actually of the past 10 years is Future.
Oh.
Most important, most influential to our sound today.
In the aftermath of the insane degree of longevity and the way he's altered the hip-hop landscape as we know it, this has made Charlemagne change his tune to the point that he argues for a big 4 rather than a big 3.
See?
This came after the milestone he achieved with We Don't Trust You.
Okay, Future has another #1 album. That is 9 number 1s for him. If I'm not mistaken, that makes him the number 5 or number 6 rapper with the most number 1s of all time. Am I making this up? I'm not making this up, right? If you really want to get a little spicy, Future could be in the big 3.
You mean, so it's Drake, Future, J. Cole?
I would have Drake, Future, Kendrick. I would have Drake, Future, Kendrick, personally. The only reason I wouldn't put Future over Cole, because statistically, if you're talking about like numbers and all of that, Future's over Cole. But lyrically, if you're talking about big 3, you gotta have Cole in the big 3.
With his numbers and his contributions to the sound and style of the culture outweighing Cole's, it seems like Future is a strong candidate to be seen right alongside Dot, Drake, and Jermaine in basically every metric. The only notable difference is that they are all relatively bar heavy, whereas Pluto is all about a vibe. But even though he could be up there, it doesn't mean that he's campaigning for this position, as unlike artists like Kendrick and Drake, who seem intent on claiming the title.
I feel like the most deserving is the person who's not really looking to be on top 3, but he just gets there just by how much of a vibe he is, just how he can just go ham and just chill. Just the people are putting him up there. I feel like he's more deserving of that spot. I'm not even gonna cap.
Of the greatest, Future just seems happy to be rich and relevant.
I'm happy as I shouldn't be. I shouldn't even be this happy. I be like, man, it's so much shit that about me that's not right. Man, why I'm this happy? I be like, man, I don't even, because it's just, I'm living my dream.
In terms of changing the sound of hip-hop, Future's illustrious run in the mid-2010s is nearly untouchable. But there have been some who have taken his teachings and expanded on them, to the point that when you're talking about the biggest artists out right now, it'd be delusional to exclude them from that conversation. From the release of Rodeo in 2015 onwards, there have been few artists who've reached as much consistent love from the world as Travis Scott. From Birds in the Trap Sing Like McKnight to 2018's Astroworld, LaFlame seemed to be on a constant rise. After all, Astroworld debuted atop the US Billboard 200 with 537,000 album units. From then on out, it seemed like he was at the top of the world, and it took a major disaster to even briefly bring him down. Without going into too much depth, the Astroworld Festival disaster became a major blemish on his career, leading to companies like Nike momentarily backing away from him as they tried to establish where the blame should be laid. After laying low for a while after an apology video backfired, he settled hundreds of lawsuits relating to the situation and insists he is still haunted by it, which is something he expressed during an interview with GQ where he stated, "I was just overly devastated. I always think about it. Those fans were like my family. I love my fans to the utmost. It has its moments where it gets rough, and yeah, you just feel for those people and their families." The reason why it's worth mentioning when it comes to being one of the kings of hip-hop is that few careers could ever recover from that. But after finally releasing Utopia in 2023, Travis hasn't just returned to where he was at, but has surpassed Kanye West to become the 3rd most streamed rapper of all time on Spotify. That's above Kendrick and Cole when it comes to numbers. This was only possible because music is his lifeblood, with everything being geared towards getting up on that stage again.
You always working, Trav, always making music?
Hell yeah, man.
Every day?
Yeah. Travis got unlimited energy.
I know, I don't get it.
Unlimited energy, bro, all the time.
Do you ever get tired?
I mean, yeah, I get sleepy. You're not like a robot.
Unlimited energy. That's what I got, nigga.
I mean, it's like fun to me. When I get bored, that's when I get tired. But I try to find fun in like everything I do.
Is performing more fun?
That's how you do it when you get your passions.
Performing it might be
bro, when you get your passions and shit like that, like how Trav is talking about, like with him and his music and raging and shit like that. When you get in your passion, you enjoy doing it, bro. You're not gonna get bored, especially if you're making a whole lot of money from it, nigga. I'll do it as much as I can, nigga. I can't wait till I start making money from this streaming shit and from the podcast shit, nigga. I'll do 24-hour streams, nigga. I'll do fucking subathon and shit too, but I can't right now because niggas gotta work and, slave for the white man.
Best, it's the real party. And it's like I make music to perform it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, so when you go in the studio, you're like, I'm making this, how would it sound when I perform it?
Yeah, it can be like the loudest or the calmest song, I just wanna.
Yeah, but also you just add that all the fans is going crazy in there, it's just like a drug.
Yeah.
It is.
He also has ambitions of achieving more and is angered by what he sees as repeated Grammy snubs.
Are we maybe putting too much importance on one award
Hey, I didn't realize that fucking Sauce Gardner and Ice Spice were in the same shop, bruh. Them niggas are dating, bruh. They was probably fucking during this interview, bruh. They was dead ass probably fucking during this interview. Or maybe they just got introduced to each other and do this interview.
About that. I think about it like a club, right?
But
there's a club, a Grammy club.
them niggas
right?
are dating now.
Man, you got Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, these are real greats. Kanye West, Jay-Z. I'm at that at the rope, yo.
Plus, for a long time now, he hasn't only been a collaborator of every rapper in the so-called Big Three, but has gained their admiration as well. In fact, in Kendrick's case, he was even in awe of how much mutual appreciation there was.
I was like, yo, man, I need this K-Dot verse, because I seen him, he had a show, and people started singing Antidote, and he was like doing it with him. I was like, I'm on Kendrick radar. And that was the second time I met him at the VMAs before. He walked up to me, he's like, yo, man, my name's Kendrick, your music's very inspirational. I love it. It's super dope. I love your last album. I was like, what? Bro, you be barring ends out. You be R&B-ing ends on the track, man. You just walked up to me and was just like, yo, I'm Travis. I think when I be rapping, I be really listening to your music, man, this dude's just said a lot of bars, man. These raps I got right here be looking like this, man. Spaced out. I'm like, man.
Meanwhile, if the rumors are true, he may have some secret smoke for Drake.
You said there's a big rapper who secretly...
Step into Wix Studio, the web platform for agencies and enterprises.
Hates Drake despite having big records with him.
Yeah.
And some people are saying it's Travis Scott. But you
No, it was Future.
I'm gonna leave that one in the air, but
are you denying it's Travis Scott?
The reason why I don't want to confirm
it's
it
Future.
is because these rapper relationships are fickle. And the moment I confirm it, these two guys are gonna become friends again, and I look idiotic, right?
So with the sales he commands and the tours he sells out across the world,
it's
what's stopping
Future.
him from being viewed in the same way as Cole, Kendrick, and Drake? Well, one main reason is that if you ask Travis himself, he's not even playing the same game as them. As while he does incorporate elements of hip-hop into his music, the bars aren't the focus, and he doesn't want to be pigeonholed.
Are you a rapper? How do you describe yourself?
I just say I'm an artist.
I'm an artist.
Yeah, because I got big songs where I'm not rapping.
Yeah, of course.
At all. Goosebumps is diamond, and I don't rap at all. And then I got songs like Sycamore where I'm rapping, and it's diamond too, so I'm just an artist, I guess.
That alone explains a lot. Because if we're talking about impact, Travis is easily on the same level as the so-called Big Three. But by constantly pushing beyond the limits of traditional hip-hop, he's never really tried to be a part of that conversation, and he's not the only one who feels that way. Another strong contender with a similar mindset is Tyler, the Creator. As in his view, the term hip-hop or urban music limits what he's really trying to achieve.
On one side, I'm very grateful that what I made could just be acknowledged in a world like this. But also, it sucks that whenever we, and I mean guys that look like me, do anything that's genre bending or that's anything.
He's coming to Cincinnati January. June 27th, I'm going to see this nigga. About time, he hasn't been in Cincinnati for years, nigga. I'm happy.
We just be in pop. You know what I mean? So
I'm happy.
For me, feels like the rap nomination was a backhanded compliment.
So excited!
My little cousin wants to play the game. Let's give him the unplugged controller so he could shut up and feel good about it. That's what it felt like a bit.
Currently touring the globe following the release of his latest album, Chromacopia, the former Odd Future leader is operating at the peak of his powers right now. With the album's 299,500 equivalent units, marking his biggest streaming and sales week ever, Tyler has gone from strength to strength while always remaining in his own lane. Although he's proven in recent years that he's a student of the game, leaning into his love of hip-hop. Putting up numbers which rival, if not surpass, what Kendrick and Drake have done in recent years, there is a case to be made that Tyler has overcome a lot to get to the point where he could be considered for a spot. Because he's battling the deficit of the days where he willingly allowed audiences to take him less seriously.
Does the hype change your view on life? Yes. It kind of sucks because people are expecting shit, but they don't know anything because is just hype. They don't really know history or anything. They just know one
Big
song.
Supreme
and
guy.
Go based on that.
Then, everything changed when his hero, Pharrell, sat him down and helped him realize there was another way.
Pharrell looked at me and said,
make something undeniable and make it equally as infectious. Why are you doing music? Is it just because you just want to look cool? Because that will burn out. When it becomes purpose-oriented, it can be as cool as the flashy shit, but it will be much more meaningful.
oh, fuck. Okay, no more being silly, no more music first. And at that moment, I just wanted to change everything. I just wanted to switch, and the switch fucking happened.
Alongside that, his music has matured to the point where now he's undeniable.
If I just started making music at 24, bro, if I started at Flower Boy and then this, bro, I would be a god. Like, I didn't realize I should stop yelling on songs till I was 24.
But there are reasons why he isn't always taken into consideration aside from how he started out. Much like Travis, Tyler himself doesn't care for the debate of coming to a culture-wide consensus top 3, only about what individual fans enjoy.
I tried to debate Tyler last night into the whole big best rapper in the game, you know, the big 3. They talking about the Drake, Kendrick, Cole. He wouldn't go for it. He says
bro,
the only
who
thing
gives a fuck? Hey, and you know what annoys me when people are like, "This is my top 5," and people argue it like. You got 17-year-olds like, yeah, like, dude, fucking Ready to Die and Enter the Wu-Tang is my top 10 album ever. I'm like, bro, you just got hair on your dick. Stop. It's performative. It's like, that's your, and again, some people might be right, but I'm like, that's, you got young boys and babies out here, and that's your favorite. Like, I don't care about people's objective top nothing. Tell me what is your favorite shit, because you learn so much from people. You get context. I want to know why you think Pookie Dookie's second album is your favorite.
Instead, he's claimed his own title that he seems more interested in, referring himself to the biggest out of the city after Kenny, That's a Fact Now, on his Hey Now remix. Beyond that, he's become increasingly protective over the culture, becoming jaded with how hip-hop is seen and exploited today.
Is your frustration with them because you care about this art form so
Dude,
much?
I love this art form so much, bro. And there's so many niggas out right now that aren't musicians that are getting treated like musicians because they make meme records or whatever. And these niggas publicly will be like, I don't give a fuck about music. I just do this shit for money. Like,
I agree with you.
Like, get your bag. I love that. But like, when every publication is like, hell yeah, let's put that out. A 15-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 20-year-old gonna see that and be like, shit, I don't really care about this shit too. This a quick bag. Now you taking up space for niggas like me.
That really want to be
for people who really care about
it's the same way for streaming and doing content creation and shit like that.
There are
OnlyFans.
those who have pushed for him to be given a spot, most notably Anthony Fantana.
What I'm trying to say here,
nigga, a lot of people are doing that shit. They see Kai Cenat and Duke Dennis and DDG and Salula Nadi, and they're like, oh man, I can go ahead and get a quick bag for the streaming shit and content creation. And nah, like, you gotta put in work, nigga. Like, you still gotta, oh damn, well, they dropped out of school and they quit their jobs, and you know they did all this shit. I'm gonna go ahead and do it, and I'll be a overnight sensation. Or they go like, oh, maybe I can do some retarded shit just for clout. And okay, yeah, maybe you get your 15 minutes of fame. That's 15 minutes. There's no longevity. Like, you don't get that little hype, and you don't know how to capitalize off of it. So yeah, that's with everything.
Is
that's why when niggas see a trend, they go with it until they drive it into the fucking ground.
Has become one of the biggest stars in hip hop music. It's to the point where I feel like it's time for a discussion as to whether or not he is worthy of consideration for what we would call the big 3. The 3 biggest, most impactful, most relevant, most significant current day hip hop artists alive and active, doing their thing in the mainstream.
With a catalog like the one he has and the shows he sells out, it's certainly a worthwhile argument. However, the reasons why he's now seen in this light isn't just based on the music itself. Recently, the company man Justin Hunt explained why he appeals to so many people, as he believes it's his authenticity and long-standing cultural impact that helps him get there.
With Tyler, he has all those things. His interviews are crazy. His social media presence is uproarious, but very poignant. because he's very honest. Anytime he does a conversation, whenever he has an issue with something, he has an issue with something, which means he has a point of view. We know what Tyler likes and doesn't like. That immediately brings people closer to you. And then you start just thinking about the impact of Loiter Squad. He had a whole sketch comedy show. So there's a whole generation that grew up laughing with Odd Future and the crew. You know, you look at the success of Earl, for example, or Frank Ocean, for example, right? So we've seen other Odd Future, Tyler, the Creator products have.
I'm not holding my breath for another Frank Ocean album. I'm not holding my breath.
The success of his festival. You have a whole, at least Los
Angeles. Because next year's going to be a goddamn decade.
Used to running to Golf Playing Store or to Camp Flog Gnaw and experiencing Tyler's imagination and his perspective, perhaps separate from his music altogether.
Over the course of his now lengthy career, Tyler has created a world for his fans to delve into, where there are many who will count him as their favorite artist. And to him, this is probably a bigger accolade than being viewed like Cole, Kendrick, or Drake is. But he's not the only potential applicant for a position in this crowded marketplace at the top who has a cult following. Just a few months back, Playboi Carti fans were essentially saying they were done with him, even planning boycotts of his music. But this was all just to leverage the release of his album. And if anything, it speaks to just how important he is to the modern landscape. Not to mention that even without dropping a project for 5 years, he was a key player in some of the biggest songs in recent years, like Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign's Carnival, Future and Metro Boomin's Type Shit, Travis Scott's Fiend, and The Weeknd's Timeless. And when his album Music finally emerged in March of this year, it immediately became the biggest rap album of 2025 so far, with sales that nearly tripled the opening week performance of the beloved Whole Lotta Red. And as far as his fans are concerned, all was immediately forgiven.
This does not feel real. First thoughts?
First thoughts, man. I mean, listen, 30 songs. We know that when it comes to Carti, obviously, as of late, he's been going more into like the deep voice. And I think that that's something that like I was happy about with this album is the fact that you're getting his most diverse vocal performance out of any album in his entire catalog. So that was really cool to see. I think some people might take issue with like the low distorted vocals that sound similar to Future, but if he's pitching down his vocals and sounds like Future, it's not really his fault, right? Did it live up to the hype for you, bro?
Yes, it did. It absolutely did. I'll explain to you why. Regardless of 30 songs or not, I kind of see this as like a Donda situation, right? Where you go into a Donda, you have songs like Okay Okay and Junior. In my opinion, at least, those are songs I'm never revisiting. There's going to be bloat in every track list that's going to have like 25 plus songs. What I was impressed with this studio album is the format of the songs, because this felt like a true Southern mixtape. For example, looking at the Drought 3, right? Extreme runtime on that album, or should I say that mixtape, but you go song for song and there's quality all over it.
A mysterious artist who keeps his fans on their toes musically, Carti's effect on the game at the moment is easily up there with the biggest names. Love him or hate him, one thing's clear. Everybody's got an opinion on Carti.
And also, I want to let y'all know that, hey, it was, I think, in either January or February, Best Friend was over here. And we were talking about pretty much Carti, Ken Carson and shit like that. I forgot how we got onto that conversation, but we was talking about it. And this dumbass motherfucker was talking about Carti. He's not a good artist. He's not a good artist. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, Carti is not good. I said, what? He's like, name a good Carti song. I said, Location. I said, this song. He goes, the song's only good because of fucking A$AP Rocky. Name a Carti song by himself where he's good, nigga. Actually, I turned on Location. And he just looked at me. He said, not a good song. Carti's not a good artist. I was like, you are fucking retarded, bro. I would never take I'm never taking any music advice. I'm like, bro, you just like listen to niggas killing niggas. I don't even trust you because you don't fuck with Tyler, which I'm like, nah, everybody's gonna fuck with Tyler. I don't care. So it's like, you listen to what everybody else listens to. I don't even trust you. I don't listen. Nigga. No, we're not on the same way when it comes to fucking music. You just listen to music just to listen to it. Just to get hype. You don't listen to different type of things, right? When I tell you this shit came out, I ain't even talked to him about it. Because I'm like, this nigga don't even like Carti. So I listened to it. I was like, okay. Yeah. Nigga, on the way home, why'd I get a text from this nigga? Carti album made me a new fan. Had the white boy copping please, nigga. Had the white boy copping please, nigga. So I texted that nigga back because I wasn't about to answer. I wasn't even about to respond. But then I texted that nigga back. I was like, all I want to hear is, I apologize, sire, for my disrespectful, rude comments that were of the retardation nature, and I will never doubt your musical genius listening skills ever fucking again. And I am retarded. That's what I told him. I never, and he told me that. He apologized, as he should have.
But while fans and critics debate who deserves a seat at the table, there's another side to the whole Big Three conversation.
After this, I can't stop it no more because
to some
it's starting to get over the top.
Drake and Cole already earned
I think that should be
title
good though.
by coming out on top during that era, and
yeah,
that
I think
kind
it should
of
be
legacy
good.
can't just be rewritten. People are misunderstanding what the Big Three is. K-Dot, Cole, and Drake were dubbed the Big Three because they all blew up around that same time. Travis is not eligible for the Big Three. Travis is after the blog era and before the SoundCloud era. Instead of arguing that there should be additions to the Big Three as it stands, these kinds of individuals suggest that there is a Big Three for another era, and the candidates for those who were actually around at the time are the only ones eligible. And while it's hard to believe, there was a time where people like Big Sean, Wale, and Meek Mill were genuinely in contention for one of those spots. And even today, places like the Need to Know podcast are still debating where they fit in below it.
If you had to rank the Big Three number 2, the second.
This bullshit is gonna keep it going longer.
With frozen Oreo bites.
The second tier? The second Big Three of Wale, Big Sean, and Meek Mill. How would you rank those gentlemen?
Who's going first?
Easy, for me at least. Wale, Meek Mill, Big Sean.
Oh, I'm going Wale, Big Sean, then Meek Mill.
No, I'm not mad at that.
Okay, so Big Sean, I feel like every time we talk about Big Sean, I'm always like, I don't have amnesia. Like, he literally had hits. Marvin Gaye and Chardonnay,
sure.
My Last, like Dark Sky Paradise, the entire album was phenomenal. So like I do think he makes great music, but Wale, when you think about it, he always makes great music. Like he's never like
this flower
dipped,
bomb.
so that's why he's my number one.
And the pen game. Like, I've never cringed at a Wale verse.
Yeah, like he makes even today, like he makes great songs. Whereas like
I've cringed at some Big Sean
yeah,
bars.
Big Sean and Meek Mill both dipped in terms of music quality, and then Big Sean, I just love him so much. Like I'm never giving up on Big Sean. I'm excited for the album. And then Meek Mill, I do think he had like a amazing era.
Yeah.
But that era is not here anymore.
In Big Sean's case, he has acknowledged the ways in which he distanced himself from the whole scenario, believing that a lack of consistency was a driving factor, but believes he could still go toe-to-toe with them.
But I also understand that I have been very inconsistent as an artist. My consistency is where I lack. I say that in that too. It's like I haven't put out music in 4 years, bro, essentially. You know what I mean? I haven't put a project out, so I can't expect to be in that conversation when I haven't been consistently feeding hip hop and feeding fans and feeding, you know. And that's something that, as an artist, it hurts because I do need to. The people who do rock and ride for me, like I want to give them reasons to be fans, and I think that just comes with more consistency. Yeah.
Then do it, then, nigga.
Control. The next song we did, I made sure I had a better verse on Holy Key with, and that was just because I was like, wait, hold up, you know. I gotta like make sure I'm repping my shit proper right now.
But despite his insistence that he could still be considered in the same breath as those individuals, Big Sean has essentially reverted back to being an underground MC, with a major label backing when it comes to his sale. As where Dark Sky Paradise shifted 173,000, his last album, Better You Than Me, only moved to 22K.
So I didn't even know he just dropped the album.
Big Three material. As for Wale, he claims he was simply too friendly for it, prioritizing relationships with other big names over coming for their throats.
How competitive are you when you're making these albums, man? Man, it's weird, man, because it's like, I wish there was more camaraderie amongst, like, people that are, like, in my cipher. People that are, like, that I feel like are on that class? Yeah, because I don't want to say nobody's music is more important or less important, but, like, it's people that the fans would assume that, like, really, like, have a bond. And, like, I try to create that, but I don't know if people are as accepting. I think the competitive nature in the joint is at a level now that it's really just cordial. Like, we cool, but it's not like, I would love to sit and talk and be like, yo, what do you think about the culture? What do you think about what's going on right now? Like, what do you think we could do? Like, we don't, because we're all dropping albums at different times. We're not really competing with each other
Right.
Essentially, we are in the grand scheme of like the game, but like what you think, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't really like that.
But it doesn't help that even though his music stays solid, it's been pulling in fewer listeners, and the critical acclaim has started to dip too. He got so frustrated that at one point, he even lashed out at Complex journalists just for leaving his album off their year-end best of list.
There's no disrespect, man. I mean, straight up, I really.
What the fuck?
No, man, not at all.
And from that moment of weakness, there has been no traction.
Bro, how you gonna be mad when your own album ain't in the top 50 hot? Bro, and also these blog sites, they've been calling out these blog sites. So it's like, I don't even know why you even... I don't even know why you're fucking going hard on these blog sites, because they be fucking... People be paying to get their shit on there. Like, it's not genuine. It's all fake. But that's crazy, though.
As for Meek, a combination of jail time, his handy defeat to Drake, and his antics left him out of the running.
Jesus
Even in
Christ.
the eyes of Cameron, he was right there at one point.
And I asked that, no shit against Meek Mill. I just asked that because when people hear of that group, you know, they often say, at one time I did have Meek in that group, but I wanted to know if you had him in that group. Like when it comes to when they say the big three, he would be in that class of MCs, but for some reason they don't put him in the big three.
To me, and Meek is my guy, is no slight towards disrespect Meek. I think Meek is almost like, and I don't want to say it's like, you know, back in the days when you go to jail, that shit pop off for you or something. Like you come on like, oh, Tupac went to jail, or even T.I.
Every time, yeah.
Even time when T.I. would go to jail.
Never happened for me.
Yeah, Gucci Man, great example. Tupac. I don't think that works in this era. Right on the cusp of being mentioned with those three and other things, whether it's beefing with the label, whether it's going to jail for a little while, whether not putting out music as much as they have. I don't know what it is, but he was right there at one particular point for me. Not saying he's not good now, but I'm just saying he was at time was going to be considered one of them ones to me.
However, there are still some...
I say the only time it would actually work is when Tory gets out of jail. Because Tory is putting out great music while he's in jail, great quality, great production, and he also has a very, very good fan base behind him. I'm one of them that is supporting his shit and running the numbers up and everything. Not only that, but he was wrongfully convicted as well. So that also adds to it. And just, this is a whole lot of shit that's going against him. He's like the underdog. And you got the people backing him. And people are slowly are looking at it like, wait a minute, that shit is fucked up. Like, they fucked him over some... I don't know what type of plan they was trying to do, but it's obvious that he didn't shoot that weapon. It's obvious. In the criminal justice system, they fucked him over that. I don't know if it was just because of money, power, greed, whatever. But I say Tory is most likely the only one. And YB. YB too. Because YB has a very, very loyal fan base. He just got out, and he's about to drop another album sometime soon. Maybe this month, maybe next month. But this shit's gonna be fucking crazy. He just announced a fucking tour. So, yeah, I think only him and YB will be able to do that shit.
Street-oriented rappers who won't listen to the notion that Meek doesn't have a major place in the culture. And in a clip that's left a lot of people scratching their heads, G Herbo placed the Philly rapper in an entirely new bracket.
Who's your big three in hip hop, man? Could be now, could be then. You know, when it comes to crafting your musical taste, you know what I'm saying? Who's your big three?
I ain't gonna use myself either. I'm not gonna use myself. I'm gonna go Rod Wave. I'll go Rod Wave. I'll fuck with
Rod Wave on fire. Let's go.
Rod Wave.
Did y'all see that picture they put on that his like
squad?
Either his side chick or somebody who was fucking put on Instagram with him sleeping and he was naked. Oh,
Fire 3 right there.
Clearly, the notion of a big three isn't an exact science, and there's no exact way to prove who should and shouldn't be there.
It's all up to interpretation. It's all up to whatever you fuck with.
Generational gap means that the whole concept isn't really fit for purpose. These days, there are so many rappers who seem just as culturally relevant.
And everybody has their own fans, and they intermix when they have fucking songs together.
As for those who still adhere to the idea, they believe that the whole way that the music industry works now compared to when Cole, Kendrick, and Drake were coming up means that it's hard to really get to that position today. Not to mention, some of the artists who are next in line to take over never got the chance, taken out before they could truly reach their potential. The 2010s was the last generation of rappers where the gatekeepers still technically existed, and they had artist management, and they had to be good. The next generation grew up with the internet and could use those tools to make music regardless of talent level. And it didn't help that those who were getting bigger and started to create new sounds like XXXTentacion, Juice WRLD, and Pop Smoke died. Whoever your personal favorite out of the big three is, it seems like that's a conversation that needs to be left in 2024. Because by the looks of it, the whole model doesn't apply to the hip-hop world we're in today. Because while their longevity is unquestioned, the idea that there's only space for this trio at the top has long since become outdated and replaced with a world where individual fan bases can push a chosen few artists to heights comparable to theirs, if not higher at the moment. It's your boy Luesta, and I want to thank y'all for watching today's video. As always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Man, shout out to Luesta. That was a great fucking video, man. You already know what I'm about to do.